I'm leading the data efforts of our company, DB Regio. We're a subsidiary of Deutsche Bahn. We made 10 billion euro turnover last year with 40,000 employees, running 22,000 trains for 6.2 million passengers a day. So we're truly providing services for the public mass transportation on rail and road. Saying this, our company is 190 years old, and the first challenge was to cope with a very new technology called steam power. Since then, within the 190 years, we faced a couple of more technical challenges. So after implementing electricity to our favors, today it's probably AI, analytics and then AI. In the FP&A functions, we learned that since we usually just relied on our ERP systems, on getting to know the price and volume differences to our previous year or to plan versus actual, we learned that in a very fast changing world to hook up to our lines of business, to be able to better predict the business outcome. And it was a pretty smart move in the past to start with business partnering. That was to really understand the true value drivers and on that basis run scenarios. Along with those metrics, of course, for the drivers came millions of data, big data. And as I move on with my slide deck, I can only say that we experienced modern technology that yesterday it was Excel spreadsheets, which no longer handle that big data well. That modern technology is for us to set foot in the meantime to acknowledge that better understanding our business needs a different way of running FP&A. It's a getting grip on the variables which is necessary and starting predictions by extrapolating from the past. We take advantage of anything just like machine learning, AI, generative AI as well, to bring in new perspectives. Because we know that with a broader or a bigger width of what we can see and detect, we then better navigate as well the global headwinds. When it comes to AI, we're talking now, I'll show you that on my next slide. We sure appreciate the speed and the power of being of taking informed decisions, or as well to drive innovation, and sure enough, improve by this our business outcome. Usually, when we talk about AI, it's a lot of invest that we need, and when we invest as FP&A, we expect benefits. So what could be one of the benefits that's behind artificial intelligence that it helps us? There might be more customer centricity for increasing sales. It might be a better feeling for your economic well-being, or as well closing that gap of missing skilled workforce, as well as in achieving our sustainability goals. Now we come to a major finding, and hopefully to most of you, it's a no-brainer. AI is like a car with no gas. It goes nowhere without data. Or to satisfy that magnitude of that technology, I should rather say building AI without data is like building a rocket with no fuel. And when I get to fuel, I'd like to get a hint on 3 types of fuel that we need for AI. Fuel number 1 is data. So we need proper data, and it's teaching and training an AI is like with no proper data to teach a cat to fetch, and that will end in chaos. But why is it so hard to get proper data? I'd say in FP&A we're professionals in weighing, measuring, and counting. And today our companies do that in their performance management systems. So throughout our management levels, there is a performance management set up with a clear responsibility for KPIs, with transparency on KPIs, and with target setting on those. Now imagine having the most worthy item that you need for your AI and not knowing about its quality. So do you have a metric system for your data quality? Or do you have a continual improvement process on your data? So I come to my second type of fuel we need, the processes. Why am I talking about processes? Most think that data is derived and created in applications, but I must say that's wrong. Why do you say so? I'd like to take a very, very brief journey with me on our data for timetable. We're running trains on a timetable, and it's the basis for our punctuality measurement. To us, punctuality means that in our contracts that are handed out to run different train lines by the public hand, we get penalized for being unpunctual. So it's one of our key value drivers. Unfortunately, there's not that one application where we derive our timetable, but it's 8 different ones. And we found that out by looking at the end-to-end process of our managerial process. So at the end, what we found out that we link that responsibility for the data, for the rightfulness, for the completeness of our data, for the timetable, to the responsibility of the managerial process. Because there's a person in charge, and it owns not only the process, but as well the data that's derived from there. I'd like to point a second thing out to processes, and that is everything about data logistics and excellence. It sounds very technical, providing data, but the end to my saying is rather that we have to ensure that free flow of data with trust within our companies, but as well to our partners. So I usually is only as smart as the data you feed it. And with that, I come to my third fuel. The third type of fuel is about change. So your AI-driven company needs responsibilities and responsible role holders who are officially supporting the task of data management. When I look at the implementation of a management system for data, that's in our company called data governance, it includes all steps necessary to harmonize what Mathieu talked about, people, processes, and tech, that Stefan pointed out to us. And to me, it's less a technical project, but rather a program of true transformation. Let's us look back at the implementation of electricity when it was innovated. It took 30 years to be found in our shop floors because it took so much time to adapt the way of how we run our business. AI revolutionizes our business as well. And it's, I would say, one of my last words to this presentation, it's our task to coach our organizations to become a true digital champion. Thank you for sharing your time with me.